The Fuel Good Factor is sponsored by the One-to-One Diet. Take your first step towards a healthier new you. Order the One-to-One Diet Taster Pack today to discover the delightful range of nutritionally complete products and start your weight loss journey.
The Fuel Good Factor with Michelle Livings.
Yes, welcome to the Fuel Good Factor, serving up news, views and expert opinion from some of the leading figures in nutrition, health and well-being, one sip or episode at a time, as well as bringing you emotional and inspirational stories from the One-to-One Diet Slimmer archive. Today's special guest is Peter Maciver, better known as Peter Mac, a personal trainer and health and fitness guru with loads of tips and advice on how you can supercharge your healthy habits and up your fitness game. Regardless of what stage you're at with your weight loss journey, I should note. And that's exactly what Dave Taylor had to do, as you'll hear in today's emotional Slimmer story.
Over the years, I'd steadily increased my medication for blood pressure and cholesterol, and my weight was ballooning, so I had to have the medication to keep it at bay. And I'd noticed I was walking less and less distance with the dog.
But before we get into all of that, let's take a look at this week's healthy headlines.
Headline.
The first story that caught my eye this week was a pill with 3 drugs that lowers blood pressure. So this is a single tablet containing a combination of medicines that combat high blood pressure that could revolutionise treatment and save thousands of lives each year. It's a combined pill, and what it's designed to do is to ensure consistency of people taking their medication. So rather than 3 different pills, people just have to take one, which completely makes sense. Around 30% of adults across the UK suffer from high blood pressure. That's almost a third of the population if you think about it. And it's often triggered by poor lifestyle habits, including bad diets, excessive alcohol consumption, and a lack of exercise. Of course, high blood pressure puts people at a higher risk of a heart attack or stroke, but I didn't realise this. It also raises the risk of kidney disease as well. I think it's really great that the treatment's being improved and refined, but as always, prevention is much better. So eat healthily, cut down on the booze and get moving. I'm sure we'll be talking about that with Peter in a moment. Another headline that caught me, this is a social media related one. TikTokers are touting vibration plates for health benefits. But do they work, I wonder? These were around a few years ago as well, but apparently they're all the rage again. To shake up your workout routine. So the question that everyone's asking on TikTok is, do you vibe? Apparently. Do you vibe? It's a question that's been reverberating around TikTok, and loads of videos on these vibration plates, and they use them in different ways. You can stand upright on them apparently, and plates shake you around, or you can start doing things like squats and push-ups on a vibration plate, as if they weren't hard enough to do anyway. And the purported health benefits of whole body vibration range from weight loss and increasing bone density to promoting lymphatic drainage, improving circulation and beyond. So I wonder if there's any truth in this. Well, there's Dr. Jorn Richtweger, who's head of the Division of Muscle and Bone Metabolism at the German Aerospace Centre, and he's a professor of space physiology as well at the University of Cologne. And he said that the calorie burning and cardiovascular benefits of a vibration plate are similar to brisk walking for the same amount of time. So I'm thinking, maybe just go for a brisk walk instead. So those are your healthy headlines.
Healthy headlines.
Well, let's now move on to the chat with today's guest. And I just want to give you a little bit about him before we meet him in person. Peter Maciver, known as PMAC Fitness, you can find him on Instagram, is a celebrity personal trainer, but also a fitness influencer with more than 15 years experience. And his expertise include nutrition, boxing, spinning, body conditioning, and a bit of yoga. He also works with some celebrity clients as well. They include Marvin and Rochelle Humes, Giovanna Fletcher, Dua Lipa. You've got Matt Willis in there. We've got Kimberly Walsh in there. All names I'm sure you've heard of. And what Peter does is he focuses on delivering bespoke nutrition and fitness plans. So let's find out a little bit more about the man. Peter, welcome
Thank
to
you
the
for
Feel
having
Good
me.
Factor. Lovely to have you here. So you're taking some time out to chat to the Feel Good Factor today, but what would an average day look like for Peter Mack? What does life involve as a PT, health and fitness coach? How does your day go normally?
My days start quite early, and everyone says it doesn't make sense what time my days start. So my days start about 4:45.
No.
Yeah, every morning.
Okay.
And that's because that was literally installed for my mum.
Really?
Yeah, because when we were growing up, my mum used to wake us up every single morning at 5 a.m., 5:30 to pray.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And it's stuck with you. I thought you were going to say it's the new fitness trend, which a lot of people are doing.
No, it started
It's from your
literally.
mum.
So literally, and to this day, I can't stay in bed past 5:36.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's literally become just part of, almost part of your DNA.
And then there's no alarm clock, there's nothing, and just get up.
You just wake up?
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with that.
Yeah.
Well done, your mum.
Yeah.
Does that mean you go to bed really early?
About 10:30.
Okay, so not super early.
But that means I can text my brother and I can speak to him literally at 5 a.m. casually.
Just have a chat.
Yeah.
No one else is up.
Definitely.
Wow. Okay. So already I'm super impressed by that. So you get up nice and early. That does mean, of course, you've got a lot more time in your day.
So basically, I get up. Then after that, I'm very regimented. So I get up, have water next to my bed every morning. So
Yep.
I drink that, go to the toilet, brush my teeth, have a shower, write down my goals for the day, stretch. Then my first client's at 5:45.
Wow. God, that's early.
Yeah.
So people really are exercising that early.
They are, yeah. Literally.
Okay.
And now that it's dark and cold,
That's hard.
It's harder for them. But it's easy for me, but it's harder for them.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to take quite a lot of dedication. You've got to really
I
want
think what happens now is that people get into the consistent habit and they understand that if you do the work in now, the reward is much better in the summer.
That's really... So how many clients would you see in a day?
So I do maximum of 4 clients per day.
Okay, because you want to give them enough time, I presume.
So no, just because I won't be, I reckon I'll be tired after that. And
Yeah,
I
suppose,
can't give you myself after 4 hours.
Right, okay. So that's
yeah.
what you give them the best time. And
Yeah.
then, so would you do them sort of back to back?
No, so I might do 5:45, 6:45, and then I might go to yoga in a break. Then after train 2 more clients, then do the gym, then finish by 12 o'clock.
So basically your breaks are working out.
My breaks are working out. Because I don't eat until 12 o'clock.
Oh, really? So you do like a time-restricted feeding type protocol with that?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm sure we'll find out more. Really interesting. And then you eat at dinner time, do you? Do you eat a main meal?
So I
or-
eat 12 and about 5, 6 o'clock.
Okay, so quite an early dinner.
Yeah.
And then ready for bed at 10:30.
Ready for bed. I always try and have like 3-4 hour gap before eating to window before bed.
Yeah. And you said you've got quite a regimented routine in the morning. Do
Yeah.
you have the same thing at night?
So
Bedtime routine?
I do have. I've got a thing called the PMAT method, and what I do is that every day after dinner, I've got to do 2,000 steps. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then I've
I
got
like that.
to prepare my bag for tomorrow. My
Yeah.
aim is that I must be at the point where if something happened, I can walk out the house. So my bag's got to be packed. I got to know where my keys are. I got to know what I'm wearing tomorrow. Just have it all ready.
You are prepared. Were you ever a Boy Scout? Because you
Never.
were super prepared.
No.
Is it back to your mum again?
Probably, maybe.
I
But
think it is.
I just think, you think, what would you carry if a fire happened?
Oh, that's a good point. I've never thought about this.
Yeah.
I really need to.
And
Okay.
I could say when we were younger, my mum, a candle dropped in our house and there was a fire in the house. So maybe that's where it came from.
Do you know what? It probably has.
Yeah.
How old were you when that happened?
I barely remember it, so I think I was about 8, 7, 8.
That must have been terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness me. Well, I saw that on your, because obviously I did have a good old stalk on your
Okay.
Instagram, obviously. And you had a post that's pinned that says, how fitness saved my life. So how did fitness save your life?
It saved me because I'm from Camden and I don't come from like the world-class background. I come from a background where you have to survive.
Right.
And my dream always said, if I ever have kids, my goal for them would be just to learn. Just to learn. You don't have to worry about financial or anything. You just have to learn. But where I come from, you had to do what you had to do to survive.
Right.
And I come from Camden or the back streets of Camden, so I know everything about Camden from where you should go, where you shouldn't go, what's happening there, what's happening now. Yeah.
It's more than just Camden Market, I'm assuming.
Trust me.
There's a lot more to Camden than that, which is great.
Yeah.
But wow. Okay. So how then did fitness come into this then? How did it save you?
Because it gave me that purpose to do something that I enjoyed.
Right.
And I only became a trainer by accident.
Oh, okay.
Because I was training a lot and I was doing a marketing job. Then my friend said to me, why don't you become a trainer? You enjoy it so much. And that's why I became a trainer. I never had a dream of becoming a trainer. I was literally just still doing what I was doing. And after my friend told me, what are you doing? Listen, we had a friend called Ellis at the time and he was training Jessie Wallace from EastEnders.
Yes, yeah.
He was currently training her. Then after, my friend said to me, look, he's training her and you're much better than him. So why don't you become PT?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've actually turned something that you enjoy, something you're quite passionate about, into actually your job now, which is great.
Even to the point of I probably haven't missed more than 3-4 days of gym since in that time.
How long's that been then?
15 years.
Yeah, it's 15 years, isn't it? That's a long. It's only a few days.
Yeah.
So were you quite fit as a kid? Did you like sports? Did you like fitness even when you were younger?
So I loved WWF, which is now WWE.
Yeah.
And I loved Linford Christie. And I always wanted to be inspired to be a 100-meter sprinter. That was my body type.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do that? Did you do running?
I didn't want to be a sprinter. I wanted their body.
Ah, okay. So it was the body image that you liked. So what did you do then to try and get the body?
I started training.
And how old were you when you did that then?
I started training when I was 16 and I was lucky enough to train with somebody who was in good shape, which was the biggest thing that could help me. Because most people train by themselves and they don't understand that if you go to the gym and do 1 rep or do 2 reps or do 3 reps, you're not going to see results.
Right.
But because I'm training someone who's got the results and he's telling me the process, I understood that it's going to take 6, 8, 12 months.
Okay, so yes, this is not an overnight fix. You don't suddenly wake up with a 6-pack.
No, you don't
You've got to earn that 6-pack.
Unless you're really slim, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. That's really interesting. And it's great how you've just managed to, now you're doing a job that you absolutely love based on an interest that you already had.
I don't even think, some people say it's not, I don't call it a job because I don't have to think about what I'm doing anymore.
No. Yeah, you're one of the lucky people that gets to do something they love every day and just happens to be your job. So we've talked about how you became a sort of personal trainer then. And when did you realise, because obviously starting out, you've got someone saying, you're much better than they are, but you have to kind of do it to actually know you can do it. So when did you realise you had sort of a bit of a talent for helping other people?
I knew it from straight away.
All right.
Because I just knew that. I knew what I was doing.
Okay.
And I was so confident in my ability to become a trainer that I just knew that I was going to be successful.
Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't because I see people nowadays who do it and I'm not sure about it, but I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
Before I became a trainer, I was in the gym for probably 3 years before that. So I knew exactly what muscles to work and how to train. And I knew exactly that I was going to become successful at this. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
So why are you so passionate about what you do then?
Because health is the only thing in the world where you can have the most money in the world, but if you don't do the work, nothing changes.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good point.
And it's literally a measure of how your body is a reflection of your lifestyle.
Yeah, and that's so true, isn't it? I mean, there's no sort of getting away from it. If you put the work and the effort in, it does manifest in sort of how you look, really, doesn't it?
And just to change because sometimes people think it's just working out, but what you do in the gym can literally make you successful in your relationships, in your lifestyle, in the way you walk.
How?
Yeah.
How does it do that?
Because you walk into a bar with confidence.
Okay, so you're saying that you end up having just more confidence by looking better.
Yeah,
or feeling
better. Or just like, okay, I've achieved the push-up today, so maybe I can achieve this today, or I can achieve that today.
Yeah, so it gives you that motivation as well.
Yeah, definitely, massively.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to chat about today was this idea that you can achieve some level of fitness regardless of your shape or size. Yeah. And I know that lots of people listening to this might be overweight and assume, you know what, it's too late. I can't do anything about it, or I'm too old, or I'm not fit enough to even start. It's too late, too difficult. What are your thoughts on all of that?
It's never too late, because when I was younger, I thought 40 was old.
How dare you?
and then and now I'm close to 40. I'm like,
hang on a minute.
I can't feel what people have been telling me.
No.
It's not too late. It's just that there's so much information out there now that it's so hard to lose weight. It's so hard to get fit because you're listening to this person who's telling you to do this.
Well, yeah, especially on social media.
Yeah, and I always tell people, like, you got to keep it as simple as possible.
Right.
And that's the easiest way to lose weight. The thing about weight loss is it's the most easiest goal to achieve, but the most complicated out there.
Yeah, it is. It sort of seems simple. Then you get into it and you think, oh my gosh, there's so much information. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
And then where does someone start? I mean, if it is that person that's sitting listening to this podcast and going, no, it's too late. And then, he's telling me it's not too late. So, okay, well, what do I do? You
just need to do more than you've done yesterday, and it could be 1% better.
Right.
Most people feel that they need to do 10,000 steps.
Yes.
But if you only done 500 steps yesterday, today you just need to do 1,000 steps. And that's literally...
So literally baby steps.
Baby steps, and stop trying to do what I'm doing, because I'm at the other spectrum of the fitness. And you need to start
it's that
here.
Comparison, isn't it?
And you need to take your steps.
Yeah.
And you doing 1,000 steps is more than me doing 20,000 steps, because you're not used to that.
Well, because it's relevant to the person in question.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's a little bit like the headline that I read out, which was the thing about people feeling overwhelmed about what they're seeing, all the health and well-being that's on social media. And before they know it, they're like, I can't deal with all this.
Yeah.
It's just too much, isn't it? And you feel like you've got to be doing everything all at once.
Yeah. And just to understand that sometimes what a lot of people are stubborn to do is just ask for help.
Yeah.
Because you don't know why you feel that pain today. And someone will tell you why you feel that pain. You don't know why you're not losing weight, but somebody can tell you why you're not losing weight. But if you try and do it by yourself, when you get to a plateau, you're going to stop, because no one told you can get to a plateau. So you think, this isn't working for me.
I'm not getting anywhere.
So that's why you will save money, time, eventually, if you just ask for help.
So obviously that's what people will come to you for. That's where a personal trainer will come in. So give us a sense of how you work then with a new client, because some people think a personal trainer is sort of just somebody very strict, very bossy, sort of shouting at them and telling them what to do and get on the floor and give me 20 or whatever it is. Run fast on the treadmill now, and all that. Is that the case? Is that what you're like, Peter?
I don't shout. My volume doesn't go past this level. This is my level. This is my
nice
voice.
and calm.
It's my voice. I'm more of the disappointed teacher.
Oh,
yeah,
that's not good.
Never.
Oh, no one likes disappointment.
That's what works. I'm not going to shout you.
But you are going to be terribly disappointed.
And if you train with me, for example,
I already feel guilty.
If you train me, for example, I need to know what you're doing before this.
Yeah.
I need to know why it hasn't worked in the past.
Right.
I need you to write down every single negative that you're going to go through before you go through it. Because when you lose weight, you only get 2 positives. You feel good and you lose weight. That's where people go wrong. There's about 1,000 negatives that happen before that.
Right.
I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I can't do it, why am I doing this? And you need to address those answers before they come.
Right, so if anything, you'd have someone sit down with a pen and paper and start writing first.
Everything that they feel that's going to happen. So when it does come, they can address it.
Interesting. So that's more of a sort of a psychology really going on there.
And that's where a lot of people go wrong with weight loss. They focus on the positive. I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to look great. Cool.
Yeah, it's great. That's an outcome.
Yeah. But before that, a lot's going to happen. A lot's going to happen before that. And you need to answer every single question. So when it does happen, you already know what's going to happen.
So that's quite good sort of for people that could even do at home now, is just start writing some
Stop
things down.
Stop focusing on positive, focus on negatives. And we live in a world where we focus on too much positives.
Interesting, because some people would say, no, people are far too negative. They don't,
No.
But you think the opposite, certainly when it comes to fitness.
Focus on positive, so you have answers for those questions.
So you know where you're going, but
these are positive.
What's stopping you getting to those?
Why did I stop before? It's too cold, it's too dark. That's pointless. I went to a party, I drank too much. I start again on Monday.
Yeah.
So you've got to have an answer to all these questions before they come up.
Okay, so you have your negatives, but then you come up with the answers to each of those negatives. That's what you do with people.
Yeah.
God, that's quite a lot of work. So do you eventually then get in the gym at some point?
No, so basically these happen literally during the session.
Oh, you'll do that during the session?
So I'll never do like a face-to-face like this. I'll never do this. This is too like interview style. But I'll always literally speak to you during the session to say, write down all your negatives.
Okay.
And tell me what made you stop.
Yeah.
So it's more lighthearted.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so from there, would you then I presume you find out a little bit about the person's health already?
Yeah.
Where they're at?
Where they're at, if they're in a relationship, like why they're chasing something. Because sometimes people are doing it just to lose weight, to be in a relationship.
Yeah, because they want somebody to fancy them, I suppose.
Pretty much that's, or I'm going to a party.
Yeah.
Or I'm just tired of being fat. They might say to you, or I've got bad knees, I've got bad ankles, or my shoulders hurt. But they don't realize that it's coming from literally all these little things that you build up in your mind that's not working for you right now. So I need to find out why it's not working for you. And I have to tell you that every single session we need to talk about these things. So when it does happen, you're ready, you're so ready for it that you won't think about it.
Yeah. And then when it comes to the actual sort of exercise part of things, do you sort of mix it up with people? Because you obviously do quite a lot. When I introduced you earlier, there was spinning in there, there was boxing in there, there was yoga that you do. So what do you...
So because I'm very flexible, which people don't believe, but until they see me on my story, but I, especially women, I focus more on strength training.
Interesting. Okay, I'm hearing a lot about this, especially midlife women as well.
And the reason why I do that is because I want women to do pull-ups and push-ups.
Yes.
Because back in the days, this was all men things.
Yeah, it was very masculine.
So I'm trying to change the narrative to make you feel like you doing a push-up should just be normal. You doing a pull-up should just be normal. But even if you can't do a push-up or pull-up, you're still going to try.
I can do a couple of push-ups, you know, and all right, I'm getting, but the pull-up one, that's hard.
But one thing about pull-ups is that even if you're trying to do a pull-up, the practice in itself is burning more energy than me doing 10 pull-ups because you're struggling so
because
much.
I'm starting from the beginning.
Yeah, and your body's trying to use all the energy to try and achieve that exercise.
Get off the ground.
Whereas me, I'm doing 10 and I'm comfortable, but you'll get more benefits from that.
Right.
And you get a better posture from that and you feel much stronger once you achieve your first one.
Right, so you're saying don't be put off. So if I go in the gym and I see Peter there doing 10 pull-ups on, this is where, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, it's when you've got the bar at the gym and you are literally using your own arms and shoulders and your back to pull yourself up. And it's so difficult. You've got to be ever so strong for this. This isn't what you do the first time you walk in a gym, by the way. No. But you see people doing it, and I see you doing 10, but I should not be put off by that. And I should still go grab that bar and at least give it a little go, even if my feet don't really come off the floor.
Even if you feel like, even if you do 1 minute each time you go to the gym.
Or just even holding, I suppose.
Yeah, like dead hanging. Like there's so many steps to it that you can do. Okay. But if you practice it, eventually you're going to get it. Yeah. But if you keep on saying, I can't do that, because you're looking at me doing 10.
And avoiding it.
Yeah. You look at me doing 10 or me doing 50, but that's because
I
can't do 50.
Let's stick with 10.
But that's because I practice and I practice and I practice. So I've got to this stage over 10, 15 years. But if you always avoid it, then you're never going to
try,
and you'll never get the results easily. Yeah.
So you'll work out then a bespoke fitness plan for somebody. Yeah. And I'm guessing, obviously, you said a lot of focus on weight training, resistance training for women. Yeah. But would you also recommend sort of cardio and the yoga as well?
See, I wouldn't recommend cardio, not because I wouldn't recommend it, just because I want women to focus on strength training.
Okay. So you really are.
Yeah.
Like not even, don't jump on the spinning bike, treadmill?
I'll say, because I don't want you to waste your time doing that. I'd rather you waste your time in the gym and you can walk to work or you can do your 10,000 steps elsewhere.
Interesting. So gym, focus on resistance, get your sort of cardio, which like you said, you can get from going on a nice walk.
Anyway, I don't like when people walk to the gym to walk on the treadmill. I'm like, what are you doing?
There is do you know what? I must admit, I feel a bit guilty when I'm going to my spin class, right, on a Saturday morning and I get really irate because I'm stuck behind some cyclists. Yeah. And the irony is never lost on me when I'm like, get out of the way, go and do your cycling indoors like me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So just like women, especially women, should focus on resistance training. And if you don't know what you're doing, just get some help because you'll find out, first things first, when you do cardio, your body uses glucose and glycogen as energy.
Right, and that's what we get often a problem with glucose in our bloods, don't we?
So basically, blood sugar. So when you do that, when you after cardio, the first thing your body craves is more carbohydrates or sugary stuff.
Yes.
And you won't know why, and you start overeating.
Right, because you're starving because you've just done your spinning class.
But when you do weight training, your body doesn't crave anything. So you actually eat better.
So why is that? Because you're not using as much of the glycogen, or
you're using muscles, your protein. Body's craving protein. Whereas when you do cardio, you're using glucose and glycogen as energy.
Which is why you often the endurance athletes are always taking sort of the gels and things, which is all the sugar, isn't it? Literally for energy. Yeah. Interesting. So really, really interesting.
Once you understand that, obviously after cardio, you'll be like, cool, this is why I'm craving this. Yeah, this is why I need this. But, if I always say, try it for yourself. Like, do a cardio session and see what you crave.
Yeah.
Do a weight session and see how you feel. And I guarantee to you, you're going to be hungrier after your weight session than you will do after your cardio session, or your weight session.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
also,
the other way,
you'll be much tighter after your cardio throughout the day.
Yeah.
Than your weight session, and which will mean that you're going to probably just sit down and do nothing else.
Yeah, because you're
whereas
knackered.
with your weight session, you'll probably go to laundry, do everything you're going to do because you've got so much energy.
Yeah.
Plus, weights literally still burn energy up to 8 hours after your last rep.
Really? 8 hours?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So it's the gift that keeps giving.
It keeps on giving. It keeps on giving.
I love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So then where does the nutrition fit into all of this? We've touched on it slightly there with which exercises make you crave what food. But yeah, how does nutrition fit in? I have to say that I saw again on your Instagram, you posted a great reel where you had one of the weight loss jabs and you were like, you've got this, but then you went on to talk about some food. So tell us a bit about this.
So when it comes to food, is that people understand, when it comes to food, is that food makes you hungry, depending on what you eat. If you eat a high carb meal, you're going to be hungry 2-3 hours later.
Yeah.
If you eat a high protein meal, you're going to be hungry about 6, 7, 8 hours later.
So protein is what will sustain you.
And I've got my thing, I call it FPC.
Yeah.
So it's fiber, protein, carbohydrates.
And what is that? Is that the order?
You should be eating your food in.
Oh, okay. I've heard a little bit about this sort of food sequencing.
Yeah. And that's because carbs are a good source of energy.
Yeah, which we need.
Yeah, but the problem is we overeat on it. But we eat fiber and protein first. Hopefully, and this is hopefully, we eat enough of that so we don't overeat on the carbohydrates. So we eat just what we need.
Right. So, okay. So let's have a little think about, I know you don't eat breakfast per se, but if people do want to have a breakfast, what would they do based on
the funny thing about breakfast
see?
is that people think that breakfast has to be eggs and everything. It can be anything. Anything high protein. It could be chicken. It could be anything you want it to be.
Okay. I suppose yogurt is good. Yogurt's protein, isn't it?
I'm not really, I'm more of like something like you have to digest.
Okay, so yogurt's too easy, slips down too easily.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so it could be eggs, but it could be something like chicken.
It could be like chicken, it could be like fish, it could be anything you want it to be. We've just been brought up to feel like it has to be cereal.
Sugary cereals and some toast with some jam.
Or eggs. It can be literally anything you want it to be.
Right, okay, but just keep that thing in mind of fibre.
Fibre.
So fibre at breakfast, where would you be getting fibre from your breakfast? I suppose some cereals do have fibre.
Yeah, but we're talking about them.
Okay. All right then.
Yeah, we'll talk about like broccoli, avocados, anything green.
Oh, so would avocado on toast be all right?
See, I'm not a fan of bread completely.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
I'm failing miserably here, Peter. This is not working.
I know a lot of people will say, oh yeah, but it's as long as you're in calorie deficit. But I'm like, I could be in a calorie deficit and I eat bread and I just feel bloated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
a lot of people say the same thing about bread, that every time they eat bread, they just feel bloated.
So do you avoid it completely?
I said, I don't have bread at home. I only eat it if I'm out.
Oh, so it's more like a little treat thing. But if the bread basket came first, would you dive into it first? Would you?
If I'm out.
Oh, you do? Okay, so you don't
yeah.
resist the bread basket and go, I'm having it after my meal.
So my rule is, I've got a simple rule, is that I don't eat takeaway at home.
Yeah.
All the food apps are deleted.
Don't do any of it?
Yeah. No bread at home. And I never buy anything sweet at home. But if someone buys it for me,
then that's fair game.
That's fair game.
I quite like that rule.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of people buying stuff for you?
No,
that's all right,
I'm like, don't do that. But last week someone bought me some sweets, which I still have in my cupboard.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's well done with that one. So, okay, what are some of your top tips on diet? We've already heard a few of them there. So you've got your FPC, your fibre, your protein and your carbs. Any other tips?
One of my tips is that if you have to measure calories, the food is probably wrong for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have to measure calories, the food. So if I'm looking at the calories on something, then I probably shouldn't be eating it in the first place.
No, just because if you go to a supermarket, if you notice that the chicken breasts, the vegetables have no calorie counts on it.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
But every other processed food has calories on it. Okay,
so now we're coming on to the processed food thing, which is going for this reel that I saw on your Instagram, where again you had the weight loss jab, and we know that people are using those, and they are proving to be extremely effective. What is your stance on that then versus the processed foods?
The funny thing about that weight loss jab is that someone stayed at my house for a week, and I came downstairs and I saw that in the fridge. I was like, "You're not even overweight."
Oh, really? They didn't.
The person who took it wasn't even overweight.
Yeah, you see, that's a bit controversial, isn't it?
And that's why I was like, it gets to a point now where people are just taking it for the sake of losing weight. And
when they don't have weight to lose.
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't have weight to lose.
What was their answer to that? Why did they have it?
I haven't seen a person since.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm baffled because I'm like, you're doing this based on society, and I feel that women are so caught up in other women judging them.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, social media really doesn't help with that.
Yeah.
But there is this thing, isn't there, of people now taking this jab because they either need to get into a certain outfit because there's a wedding or because they're going on holiday in a couple of weeks. So they're like, I'll just have a couple of hits on whatever it is and that'll get me down to what, I need to look like.
Yeah.
So that's not good, is it?
It's a bad habit to get into because we don't know the long-term effects.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, there are supposedly some benefits. They're talking about a cardiovascular thing and brain health and things like that. But like you said, when it comes down to sort of the nitty gritty, we don't necessarily know all the long-term benefits, particularly if people are using it when they don't need to be using it.
And I feel like if you look at the spectrum, I bet you any money there's more people using it who don't need to use it than do use it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think sometimes you've got to be so careful. The side effects sound horrific. Some of the things that I've seen, even some of the celebrities like Sharon Osbourne has spoken openly about it. I mean, people have been quite poorly on these. Yeah. Not everyone, but I think sometimes maybe if it's people that don't need it in the first place, then you probably are going to suffer some side effects because you're probably not missing the GLP-1 or whatever it is. You're probably all right, and that's not your issue. And
I think the girl who's taking it, time that stayed with me, is that I look at you, I'm like, you didn't need to lose weight. In the slightest, like if someone saw you, they'd be like,
she looks great.
You look great.
Yeah.
I mean, like you do look great. You're very slim. And you're doing it to make yourself even more slimmer, like to the point I can see your bones.
Oh, yeah, that's really quite disturbing, isn't it? So I'm guessing that you're not really a fan. I mean, I suppose it does have its place. Yeah. But you would be of the opinion that a healthy diet and exercise
I'm an opinion of that. You don't need to measure calories. Calories are just out there to make you believe you're doing something good for yourself. If you have to look at calories on a package, it's probably not good for you.
I like that. That's actually a really, really good point. Yeah. And that really does play into, because there's this whole thing about processed and ultra-processed foods at the moment. Yeah. So that kind of is...
Because you can go to a supermarket right now and look at chicken breast, look at steak, look at the vegetable. I guarantee to you no calories on it.
No.
Everything else that's processed or with calories on it.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I do find myself looking at quite a lot of labels. It takes me ages to go shopping because if I am buying things that maybe are slightly processed, not massively processed, but I will have a look at the packets. I want to see what's in there. I want to see what ingredients they're putting in.
And I'm happy to eat packet of sweets.
Yeah.
Happy to eat. I know what I'm doing.
Just not every day.
Yeah, just not every day, but I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to get to the point of, like, when you eat these sweets or these biscuits, that don't try and use this as your calorie counting. Just know what you're doing and move on from it.
Because really, I suppose, looking at the biscuits and going, right, well, these are X, Y, Z calories, so that's so many calories that I've eaten. Yeah. You'd be better off just not eating them in the first place because, let's face it, there's not really anything particularly nutritionally beneficial in those. Yeah. And then opting for something else. Yeah. But, like broccoli, but don't worry about it.
Most people are stressed when they eat these sort of stuff, so they're not even enjoying it.
No, it's that sort of mindless eating, isn't it? Where you're not. I must admit, if I do, and I don't avoid sweet treats at all, and I will have them, just again, not every day, and it is more of a treat, or it's something with somebody where, I'm with my mum and, we'll go and have some cake and a cup of coffee, and it'll be a once in a whenever. But I will enjoy it. That's the thing. I want to enjoy it, and I want to savor the experience. I don't want to just shove it in my face and not even remember it. Yeah. I suppose that's the difference, just thinking about it.
A lot of people don't enjoy it. They enjoy the taste of it.
I want to enjoy that cake.
They enjoy the taste of it, but they don't enjoy like, oh my God.
The experience.
They're like, oh my God, I've just eaten that. I need to go for a run tomorrow.
Yeah, feeling guilty about it afterwards.
I want just enjoy it for what it is and take it where it is. And then
absolutely.
Move on from it.
Yeah, so again, it's about that mindset, isn't it? I'm getting a sense you are very much about the sort of psychology and the mindset behind these things.
Just understand what you're eating. And if you're going to eat it, if it's bad, it's bad. Like, I'm happy that people don't like using or demonizing food, but food is bad and food is good in my head, because biscuits, sweets do nothing for you. Vegetables, protein does a lot for you. So you can call it good or bad, but if people are so caught up in demonizing food, then don't count calories then.
Yeah.
Because people demonize food based on calories.
Yeah. Interesting, really interesting. So apart from food and exercise then, what other factors play into this sort of more holistic well-being thing? What else? Because I know do you teach yoga as well?
I do, but I don't want to teach it.
You don't want to teach it, but you practice it.
I am a teacher, but I just don't want to teach it.
But you don't want to teach it.
Yeah.
So what other lifestyle things then do you think people should be taking into account in all of this?
Learn how to cook.
Good one.
Learn how to cook.
Because a lot of people don't like it or they're scared about cooking.
Because once you learn how to cook, you know exactly what's going into your food. Even if you go out, you pretty much know what's going into your food.
Yeah, if you understand ingredients and things, you can. That's interesting. And I suppose if someone doesn't particularly enjoy cooking or is a little bit scared of cooking, what are some basics you would say?
I just think that there's
yourself?
so much stuff on Instagram or videos with literally the most simplest recipe where you can't go wrong.
Like one pan things.
Like one pan, like literally, or like baking is pretty much so basic. You measure something, you put it you mix it, and you make it.
Yeah.
Same thing with one pan stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I'm a big fan of that.
And I think you can make mistakes on food, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay. Right. Like even like if you had the same recipe, it'll come out different.
Yeah, we often see that on some of the TV shows, don't you? When they're all cooking the same thing, you think, hang on a minute, that doesn't look like that one. But it's somebody else's version.
And after you tweak it, you add a bit to it, and after you change it up.
Different spices, herbs.
Yeah, add spices, you might add chilies to it, you can do everything to it. Once you learn how to cook the basics. I make a lot of chicken.
Okay, nice lean protein.
Yeah, so I like chicken thighs. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, chili flakes, jerk seasoning.
Oh, yeah.
2 jerk seasonings.
Yeah.
And a splash of ketchup and olive oil and mixed up together.
And again, you're making a seasoning or a coating for your chicken that you know the exact ingredients.
Just not ketchup.
Just not the ketchup. You haven't made yourself. But I suppose you're not using too much of it.
Yeah. Listen, you can put sugar in your food at home because you know how much you're putting in.
Yeah.
And most of the time people are
like
scared.
With salt as well.
Yeah, most people are scared of sugar. But if you think about sugar, like if you put like 5 grams of sugar into one meal, that's probably 1 gram per serving.
Yeah, compared to if you look on a pack, what the per 100 gram serving would be on that would be probably a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. It's that thing of like, if you've cooked it yourself, then you know what you're eating, you know what you're putting in your mouth.
Yeah, and that's most people's problem, that they don't, especially in London, people are literally Deliveroo.
Oh my
Uber
goodness,
Eats.
I know.
Yeah.
It's become a real, I mean, even I don't live in London, I live outside of London. And the amount of the bikes from all the different companies, I mean, that's all you see.
You see
Constant deliveries. It's quite shocking.
You see them queuing up at McDonald's just waiting, literally just waiting.
It's just like it's a whole line of delivery, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting that's where I think probably the pandemic didn't help, obviously, with things like that. It made people quite lazy. I mean, some people were cooking, but the trouble is they were cooking things like banana bread. So it's not,
I think that was the most viral thing on lockdown.
It was, wasn't it?
Banana bread.
Okay, so you like a bit of chicken. What would you serve with your chicken? Would you do veggies with it?
So I do broccoli.
Oh, I love broccoli.
Yeah, so I mix the broccoli at the end with the chicken. So just
you mix it all together.
Yeah.
So it gets the seasoning on it as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So how important is body image in all of this? We've sort of mentioned it a bit.
Yeah.
What sort of transformations do you see with your clients? Because you've obviously had a few celebrity clients there. And when they lose weight or they gain in fitness, I mean, what have you seen?
Yeah, body transformation is so relative to how you walk into a room. And if you walk in the room with your shoulders up and shoulders back, people love that and people can smell that energy.
Yeah, it's that confidence, isn't it?
But when you walk into a room and you're slouchy and you're scared to be yourself, people can feel that and they don't gravitate towards you. So I always try and work on literally clients' shoulders going back.
So posture,
like chest up, like teaching you to be like, just be more powerful. Because most of the time as a guy or as a woman, like people feel like they need bigger boobs or bigger chests. But in the day, you just got bad posture.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, that's quite a good point. Posture is so important, isn't it?
And that can lead to bad back because, you're leaning forward so much.
Yeah.
So if we focus literally on the basic, like the posture. And I've got the exercise called the rear delts, and every single client does it every session.
Rear delts, that's rear deltoid, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're doing that. You're leaning over.
It's the fly.
Yeah,
is that it?
Reverse.
Reverse fly.
Yeah, and that's
we're doing it here.
That's strengthening your rear delts.
Okay, I can feel something
I want you to be
there.
like this when you walk into a room.
So it's that shoulder back.
Yeah.
It's those muscles that are helping you.
Yeah, stay stronger.
Yeah.
And that's why I work on, especially with women, because I'm like, you're so foam oriented, your boobs are weighing you down.
Look, some ladies might be lucky enough to have the boobs weighing them down, but not all of us are, or some unlucky, because let's face it, ladies with bigger boobs, there are real problems with that, with backache and stuff. I mean, that can be a real issue. We're laughing, but it is actually a problem. So we're more rounded, and I suppose really in modern society, you know, we're so much more indoors now. We're at desks. We're here on a computer, on a laptop, looking at a phone.
But you hear some specialists say you should have your phone up here, but no one's going to do that.
I'm not going to do that. That looks weird as well. You look a bit straight.
And no one's going to. So basically, do exercise that can help strengthen these areas.
Right.
So when you do that, that feels uncomfortable. So now you're like,
naturally you want to straighten your back. And I do some Pilates as well. I've done Pilates for years and a bit of reformer Pilates, and I find that some of that really helps with posture.
Pilates is a fantastic workout for touching those little muscles.
The small sort of postural muscles. So that's a good one, isn't it? It's so important. But I think for men as well, because I know a lot of men that you see them and they're sort of quite rounded on that upper back. That sort of slightly...
because men, like, luckily I'm in a world where I see bodies all day long, but a lot of men don't take care of themselves. It's simple as that.
Do you think women are more likely to take care of themselves than men?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Why is that? Why don't men want to do it so much?
I think men are just happy being lazy.
Happy being lazy.
Happy. And I feel like sometimes men just get married and just think, cool, I'm done now.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry anymore.
Where a woman has to go into a group chat for lunch with her friends on Saturday. Like there's so much going on for her during the week that a man wouldn't go through.
So you're saying that there's almost more pressure for women to sort of maintain how they look and sort of are perceived by the outside world, whereas for men that's not so much the case, you think?
Not the case. Not the case, because you can see it.
Right.
You easily see it. Like what women are so caught up in what women think about themselves, which is...
Whereas men don't care so much, would you say? Well, listen, we're going to actually, while we're on that subject, it's a perfect time to have a look at today's Slimmer story that comes from Dave Taylor, who recently won the One-to-One Diet's Man of the Year award. Here's his fitness-related story.
With his weight affecting his mobility, Dave had to decide. Either rehome his beloved dog Henry or lose weight.
I'd kind of got to the point where I was eating and drinking quite a lot. Over the years, I'd steadily increased my medication for blood pressure and cholesterol, and my weight was ballooning, so I had to have the medication to keep it at bay. But I'd noticed I was walking less and less distance with the dog, either do the right thing and give him to somebody else who can walk him and give him the exercise that he needs, or else get my act together and do it myself. It became an easy decision because I didn't want to lose him.
A friend recommended the one-to-one diet, and the weekly check-ins and structure was the answer Dave needed.
The one-to-one diet gave me the structure I didn't think I needed. Alison, who's my consultant, every week we'd catch up. It's just a friend, really, talking to your friend. Initially, certainly, I wouldn't have had the willpower, I don't think, to have done it on my own. And then it became the norm, where it wasn't a case of having to behave to talk to Alison. It became that's just the way that I live my life. It's a balance. You're enjoying yourself equally. You're controlling it in the week as well, which is what I'm doing.
11 stone lighter and medication a thing of the past. Dave's transformation is not just a physical one.
I'm more willing to do things I would have never done before. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, whereas now I am. So physically, blood pressure and cholesterol is a thing of the past. So Henry's life is really different now. His life now is very much playing games, throwing balls. I'm physically able now to walk him for miles and miles. So there's no thoughts of rehoming. He's staying put where he is.
I love that. Henry the dog also reaping the benefits of Dave's fitness there. Brilliant. But aside from all that, it clearly had a huge effect on Dave's health and well-being. He lost a massive 11 stone, Peter. I mean, that's massive, isn't it?
It was amazing what he'd done, and he realised that he was limiting himself to stuff he couldn't do because of his weight.
I mean, it really was impacting his daily life to the point that he was thinking about giving away his doggy.
And literally, a dog should help you walk,
you shouldn't want to give up and go, no, I'll find someone to do it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that was quite, and the fact that he was on all that medication, obviously as a result of being overweight and having to have medication to manage that. And of course now with the weight loss, reversing it all.
But you have to get there. You have to tell yourself one day, listen, this is it.
Yeah,
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of taking all these medications. I'm tired of being type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
And
it's reaching that point.
Literally, obviously, like I said at the beginning, write your list down, know the negatives that are going to happen because he probably couldn't walk 5,000 steps at the beginning. So cool, do 1,000 steps today, do 1,002 tomorrow, and just keep on building that and stop trying to go for the end goal and just focus on the small goals.
Yeah, break it down a bit. You've obviously helped your clients achieve similar goals, I would imagine. I suppose the challenge really comes from maintaining that weight loss and fitness as well. Have you got any tips about once you are at a good weight, you're happy, you're good fitness levels, how do you then maintain that?
So the first thing what people try to do is to give up the scales. I said, don't give up the scales.
Oh, really?
Don't give up the scales.
You think you should weigh yourself?
Every week at least.
Okay.
Just so you know where you're at. Because it's easier to correct 1 or 2 kilos, but hard to correct 10 kilos.
Very true.
Yeah. And if you don't weigh yourself...
You don't know.
You never know.
Is there a good time to weigh yourself? Morning, evening?
Oh, definitely morning.
Definitely not after the meal.
Definitely morning. And after, I always say, weigh yourself on a Sunday morning.
Why Sunday morning?
Because that'll stop you being bad on Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Because you know you've got to weigh in the next morning.
Yeah. So weigh yourself on Sunday morning. And just literally don't run away from the scales.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's so...
It gives you feedback.
Yeah, it's just real-time feedback.
Yeah.
Take pictures of yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, I know some people hate that, but take pictures of yourself because there'll be times where you're going on your journey and it'll be like 8 weeks down the road, and after you go from week 6 to week 8 and you haven't lost weight, or you look at week 1 and you realise, oh, cool.
That's where I've come from.
I've literally changed my whole shape right now.
Yeah, so if you're actually noticing changes, and it might not be, like we saw with Dave, the before and after picture there, and it's 11 stone, so it made a massive difference. Yeah. But even if you're seeing slight differences, you notice them on yourself, wouldn't you? Because you know your body.
Yeah, and even like seeing your week 1 to week 8 will be like, okay.
You're going to see something.
And you'll be like, okay, cool, I can't stop now. Listen, I've done so well.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a picture of yourself from week 1,
you don't know.
You'll be like, oh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What's different?
Okay, so try not to be scared off by taking pictures of yourself.
You are going to hate yourself when you take the picture.
Right.
Now, I'll put that as a negative just so you understand that.
You might not like what you see.
Yeah.
But it gives you some feedback.
Gives you feedback, and after you're going to use that as your motivation.
To keep doing what you're doing. Anything else that you could suggest about maintaining that weight loss?
So just weigh yourself, of course, take pictures of yourself.
Yeah.
And have someone, like, I've had clients in the past put on weight after they lost weight.
Right.
And the reason why they put on weight was because they stopped training with me full stop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're training with someone like 3-4 times a week, and you lost the weight, and you want to cut back, still do at least 1 session a month or a week. Just so they can keep you intact.
Yeah, because I suppose a lot of people, if left to your own devices, that's where you start again.
Yeah.
Just thinking, well, I'm a bit tired today.
Yeah, and that's where it starts again.
Okay, so let's just wrap this up then with some final advice for you. If there is someone listening to this right now struggling with their weight, but also as a consequence their health and their fitness, what would be your message to them? Give us some inspiration to take that first step to wellness.
First things first, you don't have to change that much if you're trying to lose weight. Like, you can still eat exactly the same meals, but a little bit less.
Okay.
You can go from 500 steps to 1,000 steps. I know we talk about 10,000 steps, 3 liters of water, and 8 hours sleep.
Are they just myths?
No, they're not.
They are based on some scientific facts.
Yeah, but like these things are just the basics, but you just need to get to the point where you're doing something.
Something better than nothing.
Like my brother always says, something is better than nothing, because most of the time people do nothing because they don't think they can do everything.
Yeah.
So if you do like 1,000 steps, 2 push-ups, get to bed 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Like just small little changes. Like even like the biggest thing I think stop people training in the morning is not knowing where your keys are.
Yeah.
You spend half an hour looking for your car.
By then it's like, I'm too late.
Yeah. Have your mat or your workout clothes in view.
Be like Peter. Prepare the night before.
WWPM. What PMAC do?
Yeah. I was going to say, if people want to follow you and get inspired, where do we find you?
It's PMAC Fitness on everything.
So we can find you on all the socials. Do you do TikTok as well?
I do TikTok, but it's pretty much the Instagram.
It's the Instagram, yeah. Okay, so we can find you on there, and you've got a website as well.
Yeah, PMAC Fitness on everything.
On everything, and we can give you a follow and get some more advice.
You can give me a follow and get me cancelled, yeah.
Not at all. No, it's been fantastic talking to you. I think some really solid advice there, and some good inspiration for people that want to make a start in getting themselves feeling better and looking better.
And always start now. Don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till the 1st. Don't wait till the new year. Just start. Like, it might just be like you might be going to that special event on Thursday. So what? Just still go for a walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much, Peter.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling inspired. So I don't know about 4:45 in the morning, but I might try and set my alarm 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Well, lots of motivation there from Peter, and I hope you're feeling as inspired as I am. That was a really fun chat with him. Well, thank you so much for listening, and also thank you to today's guest, Peter Mack. And you can find all Peter's links along with information on everything else we've covered in the show notes. Don't forget to get in touch on the socials as well. We love to hear from you, and then we can give you a shout out on a future episode. And do please like and subscribe on your favourite podcast platform. Tell us what you want to hear in a future episode of the show. That is it for today. Please do stay healthy, stay fit, and I will see you next time for another episode of The Feel Good Factor.